Listen up. The deck is stacked against you. The financial industry doesn't want you to know this, but the path to becoming a millionaire, quietly, safely, and reliably, is actually quite simple. It's just that nobody taught you the rules. Today, we are dissecting a book that sold over 1 million copies in the first year. A book where Tony Robbins spent 4 years interviewing 50 of the world's greatest financial minds. People like Warren Buffett, Ray Dalio, Carl Icahn, T. Boone Pickens, and Jack Bogle. These are people who manage trillions of dollars. And Tony got them to share their secrets with regular people like you and me. Here's a wild fact. Tony Robbins doesn't even get paid royalties from this book. 100% of the profits go to feeding people in need. He wrote it because he watched his friends lose everything in the 2008 crash and swore he'd give the average person the same playbook the billionaires use. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what the 1% knows about compound interest, asset allocation, and why you should never blindly trust your stockbroker. Before we go deeper, if you want more simple breakdowns like this that make money, investing, and wealth building easy to understand, hit the like button and subscribe. It helps the channel grow and keeps you updated every time I drop a new breakdown. Before we get to the solution, we have to identify the enemy. Robbins calls them the 9 money myths, often condensed into 7 main lies. Let me hit you with the most dangerous ones. Myth number 1, invest with us. We'll beat the market. Here's the cold truth. 96% of actively managed mutual funds fail to beat the market over any 10-year period. You are paying premium prices for below-average performance. Robbins compares it to paying a gourmet chef and getting McDonald's. Myth number 2, our fees? They're a small price to pay. This is the biggest scam. The average mutual fund charges 3.17% in total fees when you add up expense ratios, transaction costs, cash drag, and taxes. Jack Bogle told Robbins, if the market returns 7% and you pay 2% in fees, you're losing nearly 2/3 of your lifetime returns to fees. Example, 2 friends invest $100,000 at age 35. Friend A pays 1% in fees, ends with only $574,000 at 65. Friend B pays 3% in fees, ends with only $324,000. Same investment, same returns. $250,000 difference, stolen by fees. Myth number 3, your returns are what you see in the brochure. Brokers advertise average returns, but you live on actual returns. If you lose 50% one year and gain 50% the next, the average is 0%, but you actually lost 25%. The math lies. Myth number 4, your broker is on your side. Only about 10% of advisors are fiduciaries, legally required to act in your best interest. The other 90% are brokers who only need to recommend products that are suitable. That's like a doctor recommending a suitable medicine instead of the best one. Myth number 5, save your way to wealth. If you put your money in a savings account right now, earning 0.5%, with inflation at 3%, you are losing 2.5% per year in purchasing power. A gallon of milk that cost $2 in 2000 costs $4 plus today. Cash is not safe. Cash is melting ice. The core truth, the system is rigged to make financial advisors rich, not you. Your job is to become an informed investor, not a dependent one. Section 2, the 7-step formula. Robbins lays out a 7-step simple wealth formula. This is the roadmap that took him 4 years to compile. Step 1, make the most important financial decision of your life. You must become an investor, not just a consumer. This means automating your savings. Money leaves your checking account on payday before you can spend it. Robbins tells the story of a UPS driver named Theodore Johnson who never made more than $14,000 a year in his life. But he automatically saved 20% of every paycheck and invested in his company stock. When he died, He was worth $70 million. A UPS driver. That's the power of automation plus time. The rule, don't save what's left after spending. Spend what's left after saving. Start with at least 10%. If you can do 15-20%, you'll retire wealthy. Step 2, become the insider. Know the rules before you get in the game. This is where the freedom account/education piece comes in. Set up a separate bank account. Robbins calls it the freedom bucket. This account is for your lumpy expenses. Cars break down. Kids need braces. Vacations cost money. The water heater explodes. Instead of using credit cards at 22% interest and going into debt, you use this account. Example, the average American has $6,000 in credit card debt. At 20% interest, that's $1,200 a year in interest payments alone. Money that could be compounding for you instead of against you. Step 3, make the game winnable. Most people have no idea what their actual number is. Robbins introduces 5 levels of financial dreams. Financial security, your basic bills. Mortgage, food, utilities, insurance, transport are paid for life without working. For most people, this is around $500,000 to $1 million invested. Financial vitality, security plus half your clothing, entertainment, small luxuries covered. Financial independence, your entire current lifestyle covered. You never have to work again. Financial freedom, independence plus 2 to 3 major luxuries, boat, second home, travel. Absolute financial freedom, anything you want, whenever you want. The 4% rule. Multiply your annual expenses by 25 to find your number. Spend $40,000 a year, you need $1 million invested. Also, get insurance. Health, disability, liability, umbrella, and life insurance. One lawsuit or illness can wipe out 30 years of saving. Step 4. The most important investment decision. Asset allocation. David Swenson runs Yale's endowment and turned $1 billion into $23.9 billion. He told Robbins, the single most important decision you'll make is asset allocation. Not stock picking, not market timing. Allocation. That means how you divide your money between the security bucket, bonds, CDs, your home, insurance, cash, the growth risk bucket, stocks, real estate, commodities, businesses, and the dream bucket, fun money for experiences now, because life isn't only about retirement. The magic of compound interest. If you invest $200 per month starting at age 20 at 10% return, $1.1 million by age 60. If you start at 30, $200 per month, only $380,000. The cost of waiting 10 years is $720,000. Time in the market beats timing the market. Always. Step 5. Create a lifetime income plan. The income insurance. This blew my mind. Robbins says having a nest egg isn't enough. What if the market crashes the year you retire? You're done. The solution? Income annuities, specifically fixed indexed annuities. Insurance companies guarantee you a paycheck for life, no matter how long you live. Robbins compares this to a personal pension. He recommends companies like Lifetime Income that strip out the high fees most annuities have. The goal? Turn your savings into an unbreakable paycheck. Step 6. Invest like the 0.001%. Steal the playbook. This is where Robbins shares the secrets of the legends. Warren Buffett. Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. Buffett told Robbins that 90% of his wife's inheritance should go into a low-cost S&P 500 index fund. Paul Tudor Jones uses the 5-to-1 rule. Never risk $1 unless you can make $5. He also focuses on the 200-day moving average. If a stock is below it, get out. Ray Dalio gave Robbins the all-weather portfolio, Section 3. Carl Icahn buys undervalued companies and forces change. T. Boone Pickens energy and commodities. Step 7. Just do it, enjoy it, and share it. Wealth isn't just for you. Robbins shares research that giving makes you happier than spending on yourself. He challenges readers to give a percentage automatically, just like saving. He also reveals the 2-millimeter rule. The difference between a happy life and a miserable one is often just 2 millimeters of perspective. Don't wait until you're rich to be grateful. Section 3. The all-weather portfolio. Now, let's get to the investment strategy Robbins became most famous for. This is the all-weather portfolio, given to him personally by Ray Dalio, founder of Bridgewater Associates, the largest hedge fund in the world, managing over $150 billion. Robbins asked Dalio, if you couldn't leave any money to your kids, only principals, what portfolio would you give them? Dalio resisted for years. Eventually, he gave Tony a simplified version. It had never been shared publicly before. The philosophy. There are only 4 things that move markets. 1. Inflation rising. 2. Inflation falling. 3. Economic growth rising. 4. Economic growth falling. Each season hurts certain assets and helps others, so you build a portfolio that wins in all seasons. The breakdown. 30% stocks, U.S. index funds for growth, 40% long-term government bonds, 20-25 year, stability when growth falls, 15% intermediate-term bonds, 7 to 10 year, middle ground, 7.5% gold, crisis and inflation protector, 7.5% commodities, silver, oil, agricultural, inflation beater. The backtest results, eye-opening. From 1984 to 2013, the all-weather averaged just under 10% annual returns. It made money 86% of the time. The worst year was a loss of only minus 3.93%, compared to the S&P 500 losing 37% in 2008. During the 2008 crash, when the market dropped 37%, the all-weather lost only about 3.9%. Robbins' twist, annual rebalancing. When stocks go up, they become a bigger percentage of your portfolio. You sell some stocks and buy more bonds to return to the original ratio. This forces you to buy low, sell high automatically, without emotion, without timing the market. Real example, $100,000 invested in 2000 in the S&P 500, after the dot-com crash and 2008, you barely broke even by 2010. The same $100,000 in the all-weather grew to over $185,000 by 2010, with way less stress. All right, you have the knowledge. Here is how you turn this into a real action plan today. 1. Check your fees. Log into your 401k. Look for the expense ratio. If it is over 0.50%, you are being robbed. Look into low-cost index funds like Vanguard's VTSAX or Fidelity's FZROAX, 0% expense ratio. 2. Get a fiduciary, not a broker. Visit napfa.org to find a fee-only fiduciary advisor. They legally must act in your best interest. Brokers don't. 3. Automate your savings. Open a separate high-yield savings account. Set up an auto transfer of 10-15% of your income on payday. Treat it like a bill you owe yourself. 4. Calculate your number. Take your annual expenses times 25. That's your financial independence number. Write it down, stick it on your mirror. 5. Pick your allocation. If you want simple, do 80% index funds plus 20% bonds, if you're under 40. If you want defensive, do the all-weather. Either is better than 95% of investors. 6. Eliminate one bad fee this week. Cancel one subscription you don't use. Refinance your high-interest debt. Switch one high-fee fund to an index fund. 7. Start immediately. Not next month, not next paycheck. Start the auto transfer right now. Robbins says it best. It's not about how much you make. It's about how much you keep, how hard it works for you, and how many generations you keep it for. This book isn't about picking the next Apple stock or getting lucky on crypto. It's about financial physics. Spend less than you earn, invest the difference with low fees, diversify across all seasons, and let time do the heavy lifting. Remember the UPS driver who became worth $70 million on a $14,000 salary? If he can do it, you can do it. If you took value from this breakdown, smash the like button, subscribe for more book summaries, and drop a comment below. What is your biggest financial hurdle right now? I read every single one and reply personally. Until next time, stay focused, stay invested, and master the game.